Hello there! What's going on, everyone? I am doing a kind of impromptu live stream today because I have been, I've been kind of bitten by the delay bug, and I wanted to talk a little bit about some things that are delayed and or like maybe you're not seeing them and maybe you're worried, or if you pre-ordered something and it's not showing up, and I've got my Ahsoka Tano lightsabers here too that are going to keep me company during this particular one. Now these ones I've had for about a year, and the batteries are getting a little weak on them. For whatever reason, they're now yellow. Like they turn on white and then they go to yellow, which is very strange. I think it's just that the batteries are dying. So they're going to keep me company today, but keep in mind they normally are the right color. They're just, yeah, they're not acting too proper today. It's also, we had a big cold front come through. Wow, they don't want to even fit in there right anymore. There we go. Do I have it in backwards? No. What is going on with this? Well, I'll just take the blades out for right now, because I'm glad that Ahsoka's sabers, they kind of kept them pretty true to the Rebels sabers, which is good because she's had a lot of different lightsabers, you know, over the years, and it can be kind of difficult to keep track of them after a certain amount of time. And also the way that the clips are too was pretty cool. So now that I've got these things keeping me handy, we're going to talk about some delays. We're going to talk about some pre-orders that have been delayed, pre-orders that are out of stock, and this is for like lots of games. So, and we're going to be talking, a lot of this has to do with probably Armada. It's probably going to be a little more Armada focused, but there's X-Wing delays too, and some Legion confusion. So I'm going to start off with the Legion stuff, because a lot of people have been asking me, hey, Anakin and Maul came out, so, but where are the droid and Republic specialists pack? And it's a very good question, but those were never supposed to have come out at the same time. Those were actually slated for January. Whether or not those actually end up coming out in January, or if those get pushed back, we will see, but that was always the tentative date for those. So those were never set to come out at the same time. Well, the one thing that's already been delayed was last week's releases. And granted, things come out of different parts of the world all over the place. I know a lot of people in different parts of the world have already got stuff. We were talking, I had Harry Nick on last night, talking with X-Wing and talking The Mandalorian. Hey, how's it going, everybody, by the way? Thanks for joining in. I was trying to just get caught up with chat. Morning from California. You received all of your X-Wing pre-orders. Well, that's good. So I haven't gotten my X-Wing pre-orders yet. I do expect them to show up either today or tomorrow. But those were supposed to have been street dated as of last Friday. And so, you know, like that's kind of a delay. And I think this was a COVID-related delay. Something with the shipping and warehouse stuff at Asmodee. And it's not the only thing that was delayed. Also, the Twilight Imperium expansion. Do we know anything about Lando's release? I haven't found a date for Lando or Callus just yet. My guess is either February or March is probably where I'm guessing there. February seems a little bit more in line with kind of what we tend to expect for Legion. I'm actually more surprised that we haven't seen an official announcement article for Lando and or Callus yet, or the other two expansions that are coming with those, or in the same as part of the same wave. Because they did say that the next 4 were going to be Rebel and Empire, and we've only seen 2. So we're expecting another Rebel, another Empire, and we haven't seen those yet. And I'm really curious, like, what is the big delay? Why wouldn't they announce all of them unless one of them is particularly spectacular? So I am of the mindset that we're getting an AT-AT. I'm guessing, and I don't have any insider knowledge here, other than my own wish list and the fact that things that I want sometimes happen, sometimes don't. So I'm really just 50-50 on that sort of thing. So who knows? I have no idea what's going to happen. But I do think I think whatever it is going to be like something's going to be particularly cool. I really think it makes more sense for them to do Jedi and like a Kanan and an Inquisitor, or Ezra and an Inquisitor, or something like that. That makes a lot of sense, so you can get the new Force upgrades and all that other stuff with the other factions. But And again, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's an ad coming. Wouldn't it be awesome? I don't know. I don't know for sure. That whole thing. That's all it really is. Atomic Mass Games does not actually have it now. It's like they just put the word out. So I think we've got time before Atomic Mass Games like takes over, because nothing like that happens instantly. There's a transitionary period where it gets handed over. And I think Fantasy Flight Games is probably going to see all the stuff in development already through to store shelves before Atomic Mass Games like takes over. That's kind of how I envision that happening. But we do kind of await word from Atomic Mass Games on what a more realistic timeline is going to be when we'll start to, see Atomic Mass Games putting out articles and spoilers and live streams for these products. And when will this really kind of transition take place is one of my questions for them. But delays, because we're talking delays. We have Armada, I think, is going to, granted, some people have gotten Armada already. I've seen like some stores in Australia have had it for weeks, and they've just been posting pictures of the boxes. Someone in Canada posted it yesterday. A lot of the contents and stuff spoiled a couple of days ago, and I talked about them, I think, Friday. So some people it's trickling out, depending on where your distributor is or what's going on. I pre-ordered from Asmodee directly, and mine still has not even shipped. So there's no way, even if it ships now, that it'll be here by Friday. So I apologize to all of you guys who were going to be kind of counting on like a Friday Armada Clone Wars unboxing video. That's going to probably have to wait. I will get to it just as soon as I can, but there's nothing I can do to make things show up faster than they ought to. So, that's my personal capacity. Anyone willing to teach you how to play on? Well, you should join Discord and hop in on Discord and ask people there. Awesome, Unleash the Archers shirt. Thank you. This one I can only wear it this way because it's got all the green on it. I can't really wear it when I'm doing the green screen background because then it all disappears. So I have to wear this. If I was going to wear this one in a video, I had to come out into the garage and do it. So that's part of what drives the motivation for the shirt selection that goes on for certain videos. But great band if you haven't already listened to Unleash the Archers. They're freaking magnificent. A couple of other people are saying that they pre-ordered from Asmodee, and their stuff is still processing. Alex Davey was fired, yes, but Alex Davey is no longer with Fantasy Flight. He is, I don't know what he's doing right now, but, Chandler, what's going on, Chandler? Chandler is asking, what single thing in Star Wars Armada are you most excited for? The things that haven't been announced yet, I guess, is what I'm probably most excited for. Since so much now has been spoiled, I'm really excited for them to kind of put that article out for Wave 2 of Clone Wars. I want to see that, what the new Pelta actually looks like, what the Venator looks like, what the, whatever the other ship is called. But I want to see what all of the other ships look like, what we're getting with them. I'm curious what is going to come after that. So I'm more curious about the future, but out of what's coming right now, probably the Munificent. Even though I don't really like droids as much at heart, I think the Munificent looks like a really, really, really well sculpted and well designed ship. So that kind of has me excited, and I'm kind of excited to see how the new mechanics, how everything is going to play out. I'm probably most excited to, for COVID to get under control, for vaccines to come out, and so I'm more comfortable like going to a game store and playing with like that first like short tournament or like long casual play day where you get multiple games in at a game store with people and try like face different lists and try different things. Like that's like my number one like motivation, for the future right now is that hope that we'll be able to play games again. And I know that some people are playing games. I play games sometimes, but it's a little different when you go to the store and everybody's there, and then you're comparing fleets and looking at paint jobs and talking about synergies and strategies, and everybody's high-fiving each other, especially like the first time back, you know. Like, I'm really, really looking forward to that. And so, I guess while the delays are kind of a bummer, it's not really that game-breaking right now, because it's not like we have a big tournament this weekend that we needed, you know, Armada Clone Wars in hand by. So there is that. So anyway, but basically, there's more though, because some of this stuff with the delays, some things are sold out already. And a lot of people, even people who pre-ordered, I'm hearing, especially in the UK, and I'm not sure how many people in the United States, and let me know in chat if you guys are subjected by this, but I've been getting word that their pre-orders will not be fulfilled because they're out of stock. And they're going to have to wait for the second printing for their pre-orders to be fulfilled. That's complete lunacy as far as I'm concerned. And that really makes me wonder, was there an error with printing? Like, whereas they ordered 10,000 units and 7,000 of them were broken, so they only, you know, or something like that? Or did they just grossly underestimate the demand for some of this stuff? Because that certainly might be the case. The upgrade card collection in particular is the one I'm talking about here for Star Wars Armada. I've had a lot of people mention, hey everybody that's joining, but I've had a lot of people mention that they're that they're not going to be able to get their pre-orders, and that's kind of scary. That bothers me as somebody who pre-orders an awful lot. You know. It's French because of Brexit, Asmodee says. Remember Waterloo. Oh, well, actually, that would be interesting. I wonder what kind of implications Brexit has on this entire situation. That's something I hadn't really thought of. I guess being in the United States, you know, we have our own interesting political landscape to navigate, and it's easy to get caught up in your own circumstance. So, but, you know, I don't want you to worry if that's, well, I mean, you could certainly be upset, but don't worry that that the game is going away, because if this is any indication, there's plenty of demand for this product. So Joe Swift says, I can confirm only my case that my pre-order was canceled with no reason given, just a refund. Joe, where are you in the world, if you wouldn't mind? Yeah, and Wookie says he lives in Texas. His Anakin pre-order wasn't fulfilled, so you have to wait. I've heard a lot of places being late with their Anakins. I'm not sure what's going on with Anakin Skywalker specifically, but I did get an Anakin and a Darth Maul at my local game store here in Orlando, Florida. So I had no delays with my Anakin, but that is really interesting why so many people have had delays. Especially with just like part of a wave, you know. Your local store was also short on Anakins. I know a lot of places got some Anakins. I saw some places got Anakins in today, like they're coming. They were only slightly delayed, and I could imagine if they were in different crates on a boat and they came in at different times or something like that, that might be the case. But it's scary to think that there might have been some kind of delay. I actually just finished painting my Anakin. Here we go. So here he is. He's out of focus. Let's see if I can get him in focused a little bit. No, maybe. He came out okay, kind of standard. I think the eyes came out pretty good with him. Let's see, what else have I? Oh, I finished painting a couple other things too. We got. Have you seen my Maul? My lightsaber nunchuck Darth Maul. He's fun, and that's actually a real chain too, so it can move. and then the Hothluke. By the way, yeah, so he's chilling, and I double based him because I wanted it to be standardized. but yeah, so anyway, if you guys are just tuning in, X-Wing stuff, a lot of X-Wing stuff has been delayed. Twilight Imperium has also had its expansion delayed. I mean, some people have still gotten it. It's really strange. So, how many of you guys out there have played Twilight Imperium? It's one of my favorite board games. One of the best board games of all time for large groups of players. For like around 4 or 5 or more players. and the new expansion coming out will take it up to 8 players. It has a lot more minis, and I didn't pre-order it. I just figured I would support my local store. Like, I didn't pre-order from Asmodee on that, and I was just like, you know what, my store will get it. My store didn't get it, and it was supposed to also come out last week with all the X-Wing stuff. And so I finally found Gigabytes in Georgia had a single copy left, and I was able to order that. So I did at least secure one. Now, granted, that was last week. They still haven't shipped it yet. So I'm kind of worried, like, hey, guys, you know, they sent me a tracking number, but they haven't shipped it yet. So I'm a little worried about that. I'm like, why is it's Tuesday? It's Tuesday. It's like midday Tuesday. What's going on, guys? Like, maybe you only send somebody to the, like, I kind of because now, like, I got an email that Cool Stuff here in Florida has it in stock now, and I'm like, all right, well, you know, I don't want to buy a second one because it's $100 game, you know, but like I would like to have it now so I could get started on like painting, because I got to paint every single ship, because I painted all of my stuff for Twilight Imperium, which means I'm going to have to turn around and paint everything for Twilight Imperium's expansion, and it's got 2 more player factions. So I've got 2 more entire colors to paint, plus the mechs for all the factions. So a lot of mechs to paint also. So I've got my work cut out for me on that. So I'm anxious to do an unboxing and take a look at it, see what will fit in the original box and what I'm going to need a new insert for, and all of that. So there's so that was delayed. The same thing with the X-Wing Wave 8. And the thing is, with X-Wing's Wave 8, some people have said that they've gotten everything except for the ETA 2. So they've gotten like the Nimbus V-Wing, the Django Slave 1, and the Tri-Fighter, but not the ETA 2 and Hyperspace Dock. So that is also really interesting, because I ordered one of each, and that whole pre-order did ship, but it didn't ship until like Friday or Saturday of last week, like when it was supposed to like be in stores already, is when it finally got shipped. Which kind of bothered me a little bit. I'm like, well, one of the reasons I pre-order is so that stuff will come early, but I think this was some kind of COVID-related delay. So, you know, not much they can do about that. And, you know, I'm just hoping that things kind of get back to normal soon. But it does seem like all of the... did you like my thumbnail? I did a silly thumbnail for this video. But it does seem like there's a very similar set of delays coming with everything else that's coming out in the near future. Are you going to do any more Oak and Iron content? Well, you can actually probably see Oak and Iron right here, right? Likely. I just haven't lately. It's been kind of busy, and I've had a lot of other stuff going on, and it's been very busy lately. I've had less time to experiment and learn brand new games to me, and Oak and Iron and Blood and Plunder both are kind of on my radar to do more things for. But I just haven't gotten around to it yet. And also Oak and Iron is kind of one of those games that's crying out for me to want to be painted, even though the ships are in the colored plastic already. They have the brown plastic for the wood, and then the kind of the bone colored plastic for the sails. But at the same time, it's just like saying, it's crying out. It's like, paint me. You can do better than this. You know, so it's a little bit interesting. But yes, so basically, everything seems like it's delayed right now. Some things seems like they were either delayed such that pre-orders aren't being fulfilled, or were just maybe underproduced, particularly with Armada. I've only heard this with the upgrade card collection though, and if so, that's a crying shame, because I know a lot of people, especially people who are just getting into it, who are just going to buy like their first starter, are going to need those upgrade card collections. So I feel like the number of upgrade card collections, like this should have been the number one most thing that they made, because some people, veteran players are all going to need it. Every single new player is going to need it, and most people will buy more than one, because maybe they want a whole lot of turbo laser reroute circuits, or a whole lot of spinal armaments, or whatever those cards that were in demand. And so I kind of worry about that. If there were very few, like if they only made the same number of upgrade card expansions as they made dial expansions, which in my opinion, I don't think anybody needs, at least right now. I don't think anybody's going to need the dial upgrade expansion. But there's a little part of me that says they probably put these all in and said one of each, like even distribution of all of the new product. And if so, I think that's a shame because, you know. So Mike, let's see, Mike's got a question. What are your thoughts on the older Armada factions versus the new factions? Rebels losing a lot of squadron power with the squadron points change and Yavaris changes. Well, the Yavaris was overpowered to begin with. And I think that's just a fact. I think the Yavaris change is balanced and still helps certain squadrons. I think I kind of like the Yavaris change. I'll also say this. The Rebels in the Empire have lots and lots and lots and lots of content. So I don't think it's really going to be fair to expect the Republic to be able to compete with the Rebels, or the Separatists to be able to compete with the Empire, or what have you. I don't think that's something that we should even really be concerned of at the first drop. I think by like wave 3 or wave 4 of Clone Wars stuff is when you can start really realistically making those comparisons. Now, what I do like is that they're kind of giving these guys a head start in that we're getting additional squadron ace options, and hopefully there's like a little bit more in each Clone Wars expansion, you know, as far as how many upgrades and how many this and how many that, you know, because they're going to have access to all of those upgrades that are available, provided new players and clone players can get access to the card upgrade pack, the upgrade card collection. So that's like one of the biggest problems where if it's out of stock, that's going to present a pretty significant problem. So if you've ordered one, you know, wait for your pre-order. But I know they'll come back. It's going to be like the #1 most in-demand item of all time for our Star Wars Armada, and I would just hope that they make like 10 times as many as they made already, because everybody's going to need at least one, if not multiples. Now, granted, if you're an existing Armada player, you can still use your old cards, but you'll want them all to be errated. So it will be really helpful, you know, for like the squad builders and all of that stuff to get updated as quickly as possible once everybody's got, you know, scans of all this stuff. And of course, I'll have the high res, you know, unboxing. So, you know, you can grab screenshots off of my videos if you want of you know, what the new cards are going to look like. And all the errated stuff. I'll probably be going over all of that. And we already kind of went over an awful lot of it this past weekend. There's, you know, there was already a video I did where we talked about it. There was a Reddit thread linked, you know, answered a lot of questions about the upgrade card collection. We learned a lot about things like Yavaris, which was already mentioned in chat. It just stinks that it's likely not going to be on time. I don't know when they're going to ship. Like, out of everybody who has ordered or that pre-ordered Armada, has anyone gotten a shipping, like a tracking number yet? You know, I've gotten only the, you know, your pre-orders in process kind of email, like it's going to ship soon, and I don't know what the delay is, but I'm really anxious, really eager, and you know, we've waited so long. It's one thing when a Legion pre-order gets delayed because we get so much Legion. Okay, that's fine, but like Armada, you get one thing a year, if that, right? So when that gets delayed, it hurts that much more, you know. So I'm really interested to see though how it's all going to work out once we finally get it in hand. It will ship soon, but nothing yet. Like you know, if they were to ship now, like, and the problem I have too is like a lot of times with this particular shipping, I wish they would give you different shipping options because they ship it, at least for me. I'm curious how you guys normally get yours, because I always track the shipping numbers because I plan, you know, with daily content and daily videos, I plan a lot of stuff about when, you know, new product is going to show up. So I'm always checking shipping tracking numbers, and they ship at UPS, but it's UPS like Smart Post, and it's so strange to me because UPS gets it. You know, of course, the UPS has to wait for them to drop it off at the UPS shop. So then once UPS processes it, they ship it all the way to Florida. I live in Orlando, Florida. They ship it all the way to Orlando. Then, once they get to Orlando, they bring it to the post office. They deliver it to the post office, and in the post office, in processes it, and then processes their own shipping. I've had stuff go from Minneapolis all the way to Orlando from UPS, go into the post office system, and then take another week to get to me, because then they shipped it all around the state. It went to like Tampa, St. Petersburg, and then back to Orlando. You know, so I've had like, and I'm not a fan of that because it takes twice as long. It's basically being shipped twice. It's basically being shipped twice, and I don't like that method. It would just be better to ship it USPS. It would just be, that would just make more sense to me, because at least it would, you know, go straight. Maybe it would take a day longer, you know, as far as the total transition, but that would still be faster than two separate shippings. And that's kind of the way that it works for me, at least. I'm not sure if it's a different system for different parts of the country, but then again, Matthew says, I'm lucky I didn't pre-order. You say that, but sometimes things sell out, or you get delayed until the second printing, you know, so at least my upgrade card collection is getting ready to ship. So at least I'm going to have one to unbox for you, for example. Whereas some other people aren't going to be able to get theirs. And now sometimes that depends on when you pre-order. If you were an early pre-order or a late pre-order. You know, so if there's something you know for sure you can't live without or whatever, you may want to pre-order it. If you can afford to wait, you know, sometimes some people like to wait and see an unboxing or something like that before they make a decision, then by all means wait. It'll eventually be there. But like I like, for me with Marvel Crisis Protocol, I can afford to wait on things like that because that's not my primary game, even though I really enjoy it. But for the X-Men, when the X-Men came out from Marvel Crisis Protocol, I pre-ordered the X-Men because I couldn't, like, I absolutely wanted those 110%. And so I pre-ordered to make sure I got them. Even if they came late, I wanted to make 100% sure that I got them without any chance of stuff like selling out instantly. And it looks like that's what happened with some things. I had a really hard time trying to track down a Prophecy of Ro, Prophecy of Ro, that was EverQuest 2. Prophecy of Kings for Twilight Imperium, which is down here, it's slightly off screen. So, in the UK, stores are reporting a significant reduction of pre-order allocation of Armada, the Clone Wars, and upgrade card packs, specifically 25% reduction in squadron packs. Some more starter sets are available, all a bit poor. My pre-order was canceled. Wow, that's rough. I am so sorry about that. Hopefully you'll be able to get it at least, you know, at some point. Wow, I would be devastated. I would be my heart goes out to you. I'm very sorry about that. That's and that's rough around the holidays too, because this was probably going to be a lot of people's like Christmas presents or holiday related gifts as well. So that's really rough, and that's one of the things that we're facing right now. I'm curious. I think that there's probably multiple factors that are going into both of these delays and product cancellations. I think it was mentioned earlier in the chat that Brexit has a lot to do with the issues that are happening in the UK, and I understand that. Phase 2 clones. We'll talk about that in a minute, because that's a Legion-related one, but that's definitely there. Matt, you have a shipping confirmation of what? And do you have a tracking number in there? Or because a lot of people will mistake their emails. A lot of people mistake that first email that says your pre-order is getting ready to ship. That's not necessarily shipping confirmation. That means that's just a promise that they will ship eventually. So at least we still have our Empire and Rebels. This is true, and it would hurt more if all the gaming stores were open and there were still conventions and tournaments, and you could just go out and play every weekend. Like, it would hurt much worse. So I feel like if I want to be an optimist, you hear that's the washing machine, by the way. I do film in the garage. I do think if I wanted to be an optimist, that this type of stuff happens, at least right now, when we're able to deal with it the best. And that's a good thing. We can be resilient through these. This is a first world problem. Like, honestly, if this is like if this is a bad part of your day is probably pretty good overall. So, like the delays and stuff, it's just one of those things. We must have the same washing machine. We very well may. But yeah, it's one of those deals where I'm not really complaining. I'm just talking to you about it, so you guys know what to expect. So this way we all know what's going on. This is 2020. COVID's a real thing. Delays are gonna happen. It's a bummer, and there's a lot of other bummers that go along with this year, and it's kind of the way things go. Part of me is glad I didn't pre-order. I love Armada and collecting it, but no one else plays around me, and I don't think Coliseum of Comics supports the game. Well, I know there's Coliseum of Comics in Orlando and Kissimmee, and there's a couple of those in the Central Florida area. And actually, if you are a member of the Star Wars, what is it? It's one of the Orlando Star Wars groups. Somebody just posted like a meetup or a league for Coliseum of Comics, but that might have been for Legion. Yeah, as I said, first world problems. You can wait until Easter. Sure. I mean, realistically, yeah, that's probably April. We might see things, back open again. We might see things, the world kind of moving again. We'll have to see. And I look forward to it. That excites me. That makes me very, very optimistic. That by the time they get all this worked out, it'll probably be, we'll probably have maybe that second wave of Armada in hand. We'll probably be like building our fleets. We'll have some, the second wave of Armada Clone Wars, I should say. Think about like the future. If the delays are getting you down, think about how fantastic that future is going to be. Because we 2021 has the potential to start rough, but end with hugs for you and your friends, and right, like end with a blast. I think that's what's in store for 2021. The exact opposite of 2020. And that's going to be, as long as you have piles of unpainted miniatures, you're not going to complain. Yeah, absolutely. I love painting minis. I love sitting around and getting my painting done. And we're gonna have by the way, there's a painting competition for Armada Clone Wars in my Discord. There is a painting competition channel specifically for photos. Post photos of your Armada Clone Wars, whether it's your squadrons or you've repainted your Armada Clone Wars ships, and that'll run for a little while. I'll announce when we're gonna pick a winner. I'll probably let it run for a month or two because I want to give people a chance to get their stuff. And then we'll do some highlighting of the, we'll do like maybe a top 10. We'll pick a winner. You're gonna get a custom Discord title and color, and not a custom, like you don't pick it, but it'll be special for painting contest champions. It will not be the only painting competition I have, because I also plan on doing some Legion painting competition stuff as well. And so there basically will be a special rank in my Discord for people who have won painting competition. I'm dropping things and picking them up. So that much is kind of cool. So if you're interested, plus it's a cool way to get out and hang out and talk with other people in the community, share your photos. And I have a separate like Legion pictures and Armada pictures, like sections where you can just post other things that aren't necessarily submissions for the contest, although I'm thinking about getting rid of those and just merging them into the main Armada channels and the main Legion channels. But we will see. So anyway, that's basically it. There's delays. Some things are getting canceled. Some pre-orders are getting canceled. I think those are just temporary. It doesn't mean that it's not coming. It just means it's not coming as part of this wave. So you may have to wait a little while. I don't know how long it's going to have to be. I don't know if the Brexit stuff only allows a certain amount in at a time, or maybe you'll just have to wait a month. I just don't know. But when we learn stuff, I'll definitely bring it to you. So if you're expecting all of your stuff to show up, you're on street date. If you pre-ordered Armada and you're expecting it to show up on Friday, I don't think it's going to be there on Friday. But then again, that's maybe just the United States thing. I know some other countries have their stuff already. Of course, canceling. A lot of UK stuff had a significant reduction in the stock that they were able to get in. So that's what it looks like. Is the painting competition for squadrons or ships or both? Both, either or. You can do your squadrons, you can do your ships, you can do both. You can just try and get your best photos and submit them. That's what we're looking for. But it's for the Clone Wars specific stuff. So that's the idea. Don't post like your Star Destroyer repaint. There's different sections you can post that. There's an Armada Picks section, and there's a Legion Picks. So you can always post your repaints in my Discord. But for the Clone Wars Armada specific competition, there's a special section for that, and that's only for pictures. All right, guys. Well, let's see what else is going on today. I think today is the last day of my Crab Friday sale on the merch store. So if you want to buy any shirts or masks or anything like that, the code is Crab Friday, CRABFRIDAY. That's going to save you 10% off of your entire purchase. So anybody looking to buy any shirts or masks or gator necks, or we have socks now. There's phone covers. There's different faction ones. There's Rebels, Empire, Separatists, and Republic. We've got the Bad Dice Prison. We got some Armada specific shirts like the Broadsides shirt or the Asteroids Do Not Concern Me shirt. You know, if you're looking, or with some of the McClunky shirts, we've got all kinds of stuff. We got shirts with lightsaber nunchucks on them, all kinds of stuff like that. So, but yeah, so if you wanted to get any of that stuff, you'll get it in time for Christmas if you order soon. And today, today is the last day, and and only 9 days until Cyberpunk. Yeah. So I've got that one pre-ordered also, so I'm looking forward to that. I might even do some live streaming of Cyberpunk. I don't know. We'll have to see. I probably will. Probably will. That'd be kind of a fun one to play. I just have to make sure I turn off the background music, right? Because that's the stuff that gets you. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for your support. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Be sure to check links in the video description, and you'll be able to, find, links to my Discord, to my website, to Crabbok.com, to the AI systems for both Legion and Armada. I've got other expansions for Armada. There's the Deep Space Nine expansion that's there. If you want to do a Star Destroyer, like a Star Base, all of that is there. But be sure to check all that other stuff. If you just got here, you're joining late, no problem. You can just rewind and replay it again. I will talk to you guys later. I want to thank you all so much, and as always, have a great day.